I started my YouTube journey as a motorcycle enthusiast. That is my 2024 Harley Road Glide. I'm John, and you're watching Road Reality. But today, we're gonna talk about how YouTube turned me into a camera junkie. Let's get on the bike. Funny thing is, I thought the Hero 12 there was slow to connect to the remote, but it turns out it was the Hero 10. And some of the extra features and functionality is why I keep upgrading my GoPros. And before we get into some of those features, a huge shout out to my audio processing magic that I didn't make, but I discovered, I found, I was handed, I purchased, I got into action, because without it, I couldn't do this. And now I'm on the highway, and you can still hear me. So it's not a one-man band where the camera does all the work. I got to do some of the work. And it all started with this little guy. Like I showed at the intro, the Hero 8. You know how hard it is to do this while riding? Boop the like button. I got to snap this thing. There we go. Oh. And I used it for quite a few videos. But then I realized I needed a second camera angle because I can't string words together. So I bought the Hero 9, which is not with me today, nor is the 10. We'll get to that in a second. But the 9 had a front-facing screen as well, which made it doubly useful because now I could use it off-bike and know it was in frame because I started doing a little bit more of off-bike stuff. I no longer wanted to just show my rides. I wanted to show the destinations and do other shots that you couldn't get with the Hero 8 as easily. So I bought the Hero 9, and then I started in on the fad of 360 cameras, and I bought a GoPro Hero Max, and it's okay, it's not great, and I never did care for the editing time that it took to get the max footage into my videos. It didn't jive well with what I wanted to do on YouTube. So I haven't used it in like a year and a half. Sad, I know. Maybe it's been a year. Anyway, I don't use it much. It sits on the shelf with the Hero 8 and now the Hero 9 because I recently bought the 13. If you've been following the channel, I recently got a 13 and then almost got backed into by an Amazon truck. Thank you, Mr. Amazon. Oh, well, I don't know what you're doing. No signals, none whatsoever. All right, he pulled over for another stop. Good. Oh, look at all the leaves falling. It's early September already. So now I've got all these options when I want to go on the bike because I kept all the cameras. I'm really bad about selling stuff and I buy new because I have bad luck buying refurbished electronics. So I don't do that, but I've got the 8, the 9, the 10, the 12, the 13, and the Max. And I have done 5 cameras at once on the bike and my helmet combined. Let's not get silly here. But every once in a while you need a third camera angle for a specific shot. So I bring a third camera and I do that. But they keep adding features. And one is more reliable than the next, or less reliable as the Hero 10 is concerned. Hey, long corner, I know where that is. I don't know which way to go at the stop sign. I think we'll just stay on Mullenix Mill Road today. This is a good one. It does have the brown street sign, which means it's like rustic or something. Anyway, point is, I have all these options for cameras for on the bike, and I started doing more off-bike stuff. And I keep buying the newer cameras to get the better image quality. And I had the 9 and it was good, and the 8 was okay, but I wasn't ever truly impressed with the image quality until the 10 came out and it had the natural color profile. So my footage looked different than most people because it's not oversaturated or over contrasty. It looks like it would look when you're riding down the road. Did I feel a raindrop? Yeah, whatever. I think the birds are peeing on me. Yeah, that was wet. Wow. Anyway, the Hero 10 brought with it some good stuff. And then I started color grading. I played around with that, but yeah, I got too out of sorts too quickly. So that was a non-starter, but I did it for a year. And I got the Hero 12, and the 12 and the 10 share the same color profiles. So because of that, I'm able to get them to look the same, which is fairly important to me, and it pleases my eye, which is all in here. This is what I want. This is what I want out of my videos and my channel. So I've got the color down. And the 10 honestly was pretty unreliable. I mentioned earlier, I thought it was faster to connect to the remote than the 12. But now that the 12 and the 13 are paired together with the remote, everything pairs up like in half the time. It's kind of nuts. I really like it. So the 12 was the most reliable camera, except for the remote issue, which they fixed a year later. And the 13 got the fix pretty quickly. Whee! Yeah, look at that. Lean the bike, John. Look at me. Look at me motorcycling while talking. And the 13, I waited on it and got it after a year to let them work all the bugs out. There's haters in the crowd that are like, you should have bought a DJI. I will reiterate for the 100th time, this remote is fully functioning. It turns on the cameras, it turns off the cameras, it starts and stops recording. That is important to my workflow. DJI and the third-party people do not have a remote that does all of that. Not for the DJI products. And I'm not buying Insta360 after Insta360 gate or review gate, whatever we're calling it. It's just a non-starter for me. So I said that twice now. I got to come up with a new catchphrase. So I'm left in the GoPro ecosystem. Plus, when I bought the 13, I thought it was great. I already knew the menu system. It was fairly similar to the 12. Very similar, in fact. Different than the 10, because they used the rewritten software for the 12 on the 13, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section below. We need coffee. Coffee's a necessity. Coffee. Good time. So now I've got all these cameras, and I haven't even gotten into the off-bike cameras, because as I started doing more and more off-bike stuff, I bought the Sony ZV-1, but the lens wasn't wide enough and it's not replaceable. So I bought a selfie stick, and it was okay, but not great. I wanted better stave, so I bought the Nikon, except I couldn't figure that one out. Even though I really like it, and I bought a couple of lenses for it, it works well. I use it for talking heads on the other channel and a few shots here and there on this channel. The ZV-1 is Lego pictures and family stuff only. It's a knock-around camera. I take it to the beach with me. Florence Road. Where in the world am I? I have no idea where I'm at. I don't see painted lines that way though, so we're gonna go that way. All right, they put their signal on at the last second. Thank you very much. I hope this road doesn't go gravel on me. Oh, this is nice. Fresh pavement and an S-curve. Sweet. So at this point, I've got the Sony ZV-1. I've got the Nikon Z30. And then I went balls to the wall, as it were. Pardon my French. And I bought the Canon R6 Mark II, which I did bring with me today. I just haven't found a spot where I want to take a picture with it. And I absolutely love that camera, but it's freaking heavy. Heavy duty. It is a heavy camera. It really is. Whoa, that leaf almost got me. And then I found the DJI Pocket 3, and I fell in freaking love. For my off-bike stuff, I used it for the intro. I'll probably use it for the outro. It is a phenomenal camera. It makes content creation so easy. It's easily worth $1,500 to $2,000, even if the Creator Combo Kit is currently about $1,000. You know what? That's a cool shot. Let's go here. We are gonna get the Canon out. Engine off. Yep. I can smell the fresh asphalt. It's pretty cool. And this is a quick picture stop, so we're gonna use the flippy screen, not the viewfinder. And we are going to keep our helmet on. This is the Canon with the 24-105 f4 USM lens. It takes a heck of a picture. Take a look. Oh, that is neat. Let's see what the flippy screen shows. Very much in contrast. Let's zoom in. Nice. Now, if I stand in the farmer's field over here, look at this. Soybeans. Oh, look at that. That's the hotness right there. We'll zoom in. That's a nice picture. That is a really nice picture. And going back, and I can show better now, it's clear without running off the road. The Max Lens mod, it makes what I do so much easier because I can swerve the bike back and forth and the footage always stays level. It's like magic. And I really like that. Plus it gives me a wider field of view without as much fisheye. Oh yeah, woo! Oh, go around the corner, John. That's better. That's more like it. I really think I got rained on. I felt another drop. They weren't calling for rain today, but my helmet cam is never level, but now the footage is. So it makes the friction so much less. And I've talked about this a bunch, but it bears repeating. The less friction between my head and the video you get to watch, the better the video is going to come out, because I don't spend time worrying about how's my footage going to look. I worry more about let's ride the bike and talk about the thing. Now where am I? I have no idea. Let's make a left. My wife is not going to be happy. I told her I'd be home by 4, and I am nowhere near home. I've not planned a route for today's ride. I have just gone out and turned when the feeling hit me. Yep. Oh, look at that. Don't ride off the road, John. Show the viewers. Hopefully you saw that field. The field is beautiful. And if you're wondering why I don't have the Hero 12 in the hyper view mode, yep, that's a raindrop. Definitely getting rained on. Little spitter spatter drop. I haven't even published the other video yet, but I looked at the footage and it's okay, but it is pretty stretched out. I hope there's no Hero 13 drops on the water. Yeah. Words! So about every 6 months, I go out and I start looking at cameras because the bug bites hard, my friend. It really does. I get bitten by this bug and I'm like, I want to do something different. And so I usually end up buying a new camera. Man, I bet those rain clouds look really cool on camera. I love it. I absolutely love this stuff. And I mentioned at the outset that I started this journey as a motorcycle enthusiast and have turned into a camera junkie. And that is the cold, hard truth of it. I now get more enjoyment out of going out for a ride, especially if I have something to talk about, because I know I'm going to have something to edit. Editing's fun for me. And I know that it's going to be something to look at and remember that ride later on, even if it's a commute. Now, I save a lot of footage, and I didn't snap my pocket, did I? Dag nabbit. I save a lot of my footage, but I don't typically save my commuting footage. I save the other stuff. There we go, finally. 3 miles later. Look at that. That is a pretty shot. With the contrast of the clouds and the sun and the fence and the fields. I hope I got that one. That is like the shot for this ride. Oh, dirt in the road. Woo. Road glide, don't care. Holy shnikes, whoa! I came over the hill and I thought that irrigation system was going to get me. All right, where am I? 94. Let's see, if I'm headed southeast and I make a right, I'm headed northwest. And I know I've got the Harley nav. I could just punch in, go home, but told you, I'm not doing a plan today. We're just out having a nice conversation. Has this been a nice conversation? Click the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Yep, I totally went the wrong way. Oh, we gotta turn around. And yes, I broke down and put the nav thing on. My wife's gonna be unhappy as it is. So whether it's on bike or off bike, I'm always after a new camera that will fit in my workflow and improve my production quality. That's the name of my game, because it brings me joy. Brings me true joy to bring better content to the internet. Whether or not that content is worthwhile, I mean, shoot, you're the judge of that. But I think it's better, so it has to be, right? Because I'm always right. I'm an idiot. So yeah, I really enjoy buying new cameras and testing them out and figuring out what they'll do and how I can add them into my workflow and how to get the best out of them. And I think a lot of people just have a camera and they know how that one works and that's all they use. And for them, that's fine. And I could have done this video sitting at my desk. It probably would have been half as long and I don't know, maybe twice as engaging, but it wouldn't have been as fun for me to record. And that, my friend, is how this little guy here, the Hero 8, started my love affair with cameras all over again. I hadn't owned a digital camera in 15, 20 years, whatever it was, 15 years. And now I've got like 9 of them. So anyway, what a beautiful ride, minus the 2 raindrops. And we're home safe, me and the 24 Road Glide. Great ride. Oh, I can't wait to see this footage. It's gonna look good in the editor. Hopefully it looked good for you. Did you enjoy today's video? Poop the like button if you did. Share it with a friend who is also addicted to cameras. Maybe they'll understand. And until next time, go watch this video and don't forget your 2 mantras. 1, you have a 100% track record of making it through a bad day. And 2, do something nice for yourself every day. Maybe it's buying a new action camera. Bye.